Dear student, see the name of topic here, plant growth and mineral nutrition. First of all, you should know what is a hormone, yeah, growth regulator. Hormones are chemical messenger which are produced at one place, but they show their effect on another place. In case of animal, especially human being, in our body there is a endocrine gland, ductless gland. For example, pituitary gland, then thyroid gland, parathyroid gland, adrenal gland. So these are the different kind of glands. They secrete hormones for the animal growth, yeah, human growth. In case of plant, there is no such kind of the glands except nectar gland in the ovary. But at the apex of root and shoot of plant, there is a meristematic tissue, and that tissue secrete little amount of the chemical substances that is called plant hormones, phytohormones, yeah, growth regulators. We'll go detail. See here, growth hormones. First of all, a scientist Starling in 1906 given a definition of growth hormone. As already have told you, growth hormones are the chemical messenger produced at the one place, and they show their effect on another place. In case of plant body, what I said, meristematic is a tissue at the apex of root and shoot. Plant hormones are secreted. So definition of plant hormone is, look here, this is the definition. The internal factor that influences growth are called growth hormone or growth regulators because they regulate plant growth. Either they inhibit, either they promote, yeah, little bit bring about the modification in the plant growth. There are two kind of plant hormones. One is growth promoters. See here, which are the growth promoters? Auxins, gibberellins, and cytokinins. These are the hormones which enhance the growth of plant. And the second, look here, this is the growth inhibitors, means they not completely stop the growth, but they inhibit, they try to control the growth. That is called ethylene and abscisic acid. We will discuss more about that later. So auxin, gibberellin, cytokinin, ethylene, abscisic acid, these are the essential growth compounds other than nutrients, and they are required in very small quantities. They are generally synthesized, what I said, at the apex of root and shoot, as well as leaf primordia, and from them they transport it to all part of the plant body for overall growth of the plant. Scientists Hyman and Pincus explain about the plant hormones. Plant hormones are organic substances produced naturally in higher plants, affecting growth or other physiological functions at site remote from place of production and active in very minute amount. And these hormones are transported through phloem parenchyma cells. Next one, that is the detail about the auxin. Scientist F.W. Wendt in 1931 used the term first time auxin, as well as auxin was also isolated from the urine of a person suffering from the pellagra by scientists Kogel and Smith. Pellagra is a systemic disease produced by causes by deficiency of vitamin B3 or niacin, and in the urine of that pellagra person, Kogel and Smith discovered this chemical also. In plants, auxin synthesized at a growing tip or meristematic region, and from they transported to other part of the plant body. The most common and important auxin is indole acetic acid. Indole acetic acid is a natural plant hormones and derived from the amino acid what? Tryptophan. So tryptophan is a primary precursor from which indole acetic acid is derived. And my dear friend, this auxin translocated by a polar manner, that is from morphological apex to base. Even in stem, it takes place in downward direction, while in root it is in upward direction. That is called basipetal. Besides of indole acetic acid, some auxins we can produce artificially in the industry, especially for agriculture concern. That is a IBA, indole butyric acid. See here, naphthalene acetic acid, and 2,4-D dichlorophenoxyacetic acid. These are the type of auxins. Now we'll go ahead. Physiological effect and application of auxins. What is the role of auxins in the plant body? Very interesting. As they are produced by the root or shoot apex, cells are meristematic, very young cells are there, immatured, and in the beginning, either root apex or shoot apex, the primary effect of the auxin is cell enlargement. What? Cell enlargement. Second, that is the apical dominance. In most of the higher plants, growing apical bud continuously by inhibiting the lateral growth of the plant body. That is called apical dominance. What is the meaning of apical dominance? Just look here. Yes, 1 minute. See the plant here. This is the apical dominance diagram regarding the plant concern. You carefully observe, this is a stem, and in between petiole and stem, the angle between stem and petiole of the leaf, there is a axil, and axil possesses what? Axillary bud. But as auxins are produced at the tip, the plant increase their growth by suppressing the lateral bud. That is called apical dominance. But in the second diagram, when we cut the apical bud, a terminal bud, shoot tip removed. Then look here carefully. In the axil, there is axil bud, they get sprout. The tillering process means sprouting of bud. When we remove the apical bud, then there is a lateral growth occur. But in the plant body, what I said, at the apex of stem, suppose there is a auxin, they bring about apical dominance. What? Apical dominance. Look here, we'll go back for this explanation of this plant hormones auxin. Yes, this is apical dominance, means increase the plant growth by apical bud by suppressing the lateral bud. That is called apical dominance. Second, my dear, look here. Auxin stimulates growth of stem and roots. In the beginning, when plant is in the seedling stage, that time growth takes place of stem and root by the auxin. Second, 4 number, auxin induces multiple cells, hence used in the tissue culture for getting immediate result, immediate plantlets by process called micropropagation. We can use auxin to proliferate explant, means parenchyma cells. When you take on the nutrient medium, they immediately proliferate, they immediately grown to form a mass of cell called callus. Next, it stimulates the lateral and adventitious roots. Adventitious roots in the monocot especially, and the lateral branches, means lateral branches of the adventitious roots also enhanced by the auxin. Next, synthetic auxin like 2,4-D, dichlorophenoxyastic acid, are used as a herbicide which kill the dicot weeds. What is weed? Unwanted crop in the field, especially monocot crop, that we can kill by, then we can destroy by synthetic auxin. In the agriculture, farmers are generally use this 2,4-D auxin as a weed killer in monocot plant. Next point is regarding the auxin induce parthenocarpy. What is parthenocarpy? Formation of fruit without seeds, especially at the placenta of ovary. At the placenta of ovary, produce the auxin and they bring about formation of fruits without seeds. So the seedless fruits like orange, lemon, grapes, banana are produced by application of auxins. Application of auxins. So next one is a auxin promotes cell division in cambium. Cambium is a mesenchymal tissue in between xylem and phloem, and they bring about early differentiation of xylem and phloem also. Secondary growth also controlled by the auxin, that is called cambium here. Auxin also promote root elongation, but in a low concentration, and shoot formation at a higher concentration. Little bit opposite in the root tip. If there is a low concentration of the auxin, growth of root is precise, yeah, properly takes place. And if the higher concentration at the shoot apex, height of the plant can increase very easily. It also hastens early rooting, the plant which are propagating by cutting. That is called vegetative propagation. Next one is a foliar spray by synthetic auxin like NAA, naphthalinic acid, 2,4-D, which induce early flowering in a lychee and pineapple plant. In case of pineapple and lychee, by spraying the NAA and 2,4-D, we bring about immediate flowering in such plant. And as immediate flowering takes place, means immediate fruit we can get it. The 11 number point, the function of auxin to prevent premature fruit drop in case of apple, pear, and oranges. It also prevents formation of abscission. What is abscission? Weak layer is formed at petiole. Separation layer is formed at the petiole and leaf can fall. But here, auxin is used to prevent the fruit drop, apples, pear, oranges, as well as it prevent the abscission layer, especially it prevent the leaf fall also. The next one is the auxin play an important role in elongation of cell. Enlargement and elongation both are controlled by auxin. And the last is the auxin break dormancy in seed for immediate germination. Within the seed, embryo is in immature state, yeah, developing state, but auxin, it can break the dormancy of seed, it can make the seed metabolically active, and after sowing the seeds in the soil, they get sprout immediately by the auxins. So these are the different application of auxins. I think you understood all these points, all these applications. Okay, now I'll stop over here.